Yes, today has been Ash Wednesday, and I thought I would take a few minutes on this Ash Wednesday evening to talk about a few things that might be helpful and useful to you as we approach the Lenten season, but as we have 2020 still before us in many ways. Yes, life certainty number 3. Another lesson from the story of Kobe Bryant, and of course, what we say, DWD. That's right, DWD, because eventually we all die. Those are the things in just a few minutes I'd like to talk about and see if we can help you figure some things out that will lead you to truly be a master entrepreneur. That's the name of the program. My name is Stan Houston. The program starts right now. It's been a very busy day for me. Lots of video work, radio work, making things happen because we want the Master Entrepreneur, this program, and the Christian Entrepreneur Network to go and grow. And we have lots of projects. We have a lot of funding needs. So if you could be a part of the sponsorship of this program as we try and make things happen, we're in year number 2, and we'd appreciate your help. tcenglobal.org/contribute now. tcenglobal.org/contribute now. I mentioned in our radio and video program that was somewhat controversial yesterday as just prior to Ash Wednesday, which of course is Fat Tuesday or Mardi Gras, that the question was, if Jesus had to make a choice for 2 people for one position, and it was you and Donald J. Trump, who would he choose and why? And what do you think? Well, that was a controversial program. I hope you took it with a bit of a smile, but certainly a serious point involved in a little bit of self-discovery. And I mentioned at that time that as we are looking at life and business and what is all about us, that there are 4 certainties in life, and probably only 4. And I wanted to just kind of think about that today. First of all, the certainty is number 1. If you are born and you survive and you live a life, it will be full of opportunity and it will be full of adversity. Life is difficult, is what Scott Peck said years ago in the classic bestseller, The Road Less Traveled. And indeed it is. And we're going through that. You're going through that. All of us will find that there are things that, life is difficult. There will be adversity. There will be opportunity. Life could be cut short at any time. Life could be long-lived, and we could perhaps experience far more grace and goodness than we ever deserve. But at the same time, there are people who deal with some incredible adversities and tragedies. That happens. That's a certainty. Number 2 in life's certainties is that if you grow old or older, your body and perhaps your health will eventually begin to deteriorate, and you will become weaker, and perhaps you will get sick, and you will have all of the difficulties of dealing with old age. And the proverbial line, which we've heard many times, is growing old isn't for sissies. That's life certainty number 2. And of course that leads to life certainty number 3, And that's the one that you obviously know what's coming. Eventually, you will die. We will die. And that's something that we have to face. And today, when I go forward for communion on Ash Wednesday, that's what this day is to remind us of. As the pastor or the person who is in charge of the service puts the ashes on my forehead, they will remind me, ashes to ashes. From dust we came, to dust we go. We are mortal beings. We came from nothing but perhaps created matter, hopefully with the divine spark well within us and honored through our life. But even then, eventually, we will die. And that's what this day is all about. Rather interesting celebration of the day, but it is a solemn and deeply moving occasion. You will die. What does that mean to you? And what can that mean to us? Well, I was one of the persons who waited after the death of Kobe Bryant to say anything about that. And there were a number of people who talked about the tragedy. Of course, again, there you are. Life certainty number one. Who knows? And in the helicopter crash, he and a variety of colleagues and friends, and unfortunately even worse, his own daughter, perished in that terrible, terrible tragedy. And of course we mourn that. I picked up the lesson that simply we honor Kobe Bryant, particularly not only for his life and his accomplishments, but for remembering that he said this: work hard. Work very hard. And the line supposedly he made sure that everybody knew on the team is, if you're not willing to work as hard as I work, there's no work for you here. And those of us who are entrepreneurs know that oftentimes the problem is that we're working hard, and can we find colleagues and employees who will work as hard as we work? And Kobe made it very clear that in life, particularly if you wanted to be a Laker, you work as hard as he worked. We're just not trying to make the playoffs. We're going to try and be champions. So that was an interesting reminder. But the story has gotten just a little bit more complicated. And of course, this is life. Supposedly, it's now been revealed that we found out that Kobe went to communion with his daughter just before he got on that tragic airplane ride. But it also has been revealed that for a number of years, Kobe had not spoken to his parents. Well, I wonder what that was about. I don't know. And it's none of my business. I don't need to know. But I just wonder if perhaps he would have liked to have maybe cleaned that up before he died. Maybe that's a relationship that he was going to eventually try and fix. I don't know. But that reminded me, once again, that one of the things I need to do is try to keep pretty short accounts with those people and those situations where perhaps I've done some harm or they have done me harm, and the feelings aren't the best. He didn't speak to his parents for a number of years. Probably, I bet he wished he had cleaned that up. I don't know. But that's a lesson I learned. Well, that also led, as I said, this primary thing that we have to deal with on this day is what I call DWD. And I point that out that there are 3 DWDs that are a part of our life. First of all, we have to deal with the day. Every day, we have to learn to deal with the day that's right before us. one day at a time. I've got to make the most of this day, no matter what happens to me, what is ever on my schedule, what is unscheduled and coming at me. I have to deal with the day. And then eventually I have to understand that while I'm dealing with the day, I'm also dealing with my destiny. Because how I'm going to end up long term and long ways away perhaps, my destiny is going to be determined on how I deal with each day. And then, of course, I have to deal with the inevitability, the certainty of my mortality. Someday I will die. That's for certain. Now, of course, there is the fourth certainty, which those of us of faith can claim, and that is, it is certain that through all of the days and destiny, and even in death itself, I am loved. God loves me. Jesus loves me. This I know. And that's good to know. It's vital to know. Well, those are the things that will come to me on this Ash Wednesday day, in which I'm reminded that from ashes to ashes is the way life works. And what I do between the ash of beginning and the ash at the end makes a big difference. I'm Stan Houston. This is the Master Entrepreneur. TCENglobal.org/contribute now. We'd like to help you in your life and your business. We can help you. And if you'd like to have a program just like this, because you're going to have to in the future know how to do a radio broadcast for your business, we can help you do that. Reach out to me at stanhouston@gmail.com, stanhouston@gmail.com, and tell us how we can help you. Because I'm convinced that in some way we can. All the best and blessings. We'll be back with a closing thought. And of course, dealing with our destiny and dealing with death right now. We are going through, and many people are really afraid of the coronavirus. Could it be, hey, if that becomes a pandemic, epidemic, the economy, our jobs, our careers, could it be that the things that we have taken for granted and the plans that we've had for this year, all of a sudden, due to something totally beyond our control, all of our plans and much of the work and the things that are coming to us we were hoping for might be dismantled by the threat of the coronavirus. It's serious. It is serious. We need to be people of prayer. Pray for God's protection, God's provision as we go through this situation. Who knows? But here's a lesson for you. Yes, there will be uncertainty, and that's why I'm claiming that everybody has to realize that job and professional and career security is very fragile. And that's why everybody needs to gain the heart, mind, and spirit of the entrepreneur. Whatever you're doing, whatever job or career or ways of making a living and a contribution are before you, we can help you. Because increasingly, with artificial intelligence replacing jobs, with the internet replacing stores and retail and disrupting businesses all over, the dual threat and the dual opportunity of the internet and artificial intelligence, and even what 5G might do to our communication, the certainty is certainly lacking now. And so you better become an entrepreneur. You better think like one, act like one, create multiple streams of income and ways of making a contribution, because you never know what's going to happen. And so whether you have a nice job that's secure right now, you might want to develop and start doing what we teach people to do, how to live with both the uncertainty and the great opportunity, and perhaps even the capacity to bless others as a Jesus-led master entrepreneur. We can help you do just that. And we would be open and welcome. Again, my name is Stan Husted. I'm the co-founder and leader of the Christian Entrepreneur Network, the Christian Entrepreneur Nation. We'd appreciate your participation and your sponsorship in the work and the things we do. But remember, we're here because God truly wants you to live and think like a master entrepreneur. And on this Ash Wednesday Eve, just let that sit on your head, your heart, your mind, and your spirit for a while. And then perhaps in the days to come, change some of the things you do and take action. Best and blessings. We'll be back. Bye for now.